तीस.
1,000 रुपये ना.
नाही नाही, 500 नेले.
माझं कुठे बाकीचे 500 कुठे गेले? 1,500 रुपये होते खिशात. होय रे, 1,500 होते खिशात. पैसे कुठे गेले?
आता किती नेले?
यांनी 500 नेलते ना.
हा, मरेन पाचशे नेले असते.
आता का?
सकाळी दूध आणायला किती तर ती होती ती. एक दूध पुडा आणि एक ते पुडा आणला.
ते आपण एवढं काय घ्या काय ना, पैसे आहेत ना 200 रुपये, 250 रुपये.
It is an operator. Okay, it is an operator. Then why it is called special? Because it works like a function. Okay, it works like a function. So because of that, it is called special operator. And what is its use? Its use is very simple. It return a size. It return a size of a given variable or of a given data type. Means what? If I pass int data type to the size of operator, if we pass int data type to the size of operator, then size of operator returns how many bytes require for integer variable in a memory. Means how many bytes memory space require for integer data type in a memory, that will be written by the size of. Here we are talking about 32-bit operating system. Then as we know, in 32-bit operating system, integer variable require 2 bytes memory, right? So if you pass int as a parameter, int data type as a parameter to the size of operator, then what size of operator will do? It returns memory space in bytes, which is required for the int data type. So it returns 2. What is 2? 2 bytes. That means 2 bytes memory space required for integer data type in a memory. Suppose like that. Suppose if I declare variable like this int a, and if I pass size of a, then also एक मिनट and then also size of returns 2 bytes memory, because what is a is a variable, and what is the data type of variable a? The data type of variable a is int. So int require 2 bytes memory space, so size of operator will return 2. That you people has to remember. Then suppose if you pass float here, if I pass float like this, then how many bytes require for float data type? How many bytes require for float data type? कितने bytes लगती है float के लिए? If you are talking, if you are considering 32-bit operating system, then float require how many bytes memory space?
4 bytes.
4 bytes. Okay, that means size of will return 4 bytes. Okay, so what student we have to remember? You have to remember use of size of. See what is it? It return a size of a given data type. Okay, means suppose if you pass int data type as a parameter to the size of, then it will return 2 value, because int require 2 bytes memory space. Then if you pass float as a data type as a parameter to the size of, then it will return 4 bytes, because 4 bytes memory space require for float variable in a memory. Okay, in this way we have to remember it. So student first write about the size of के बारे में लिखो. Write down size of. It is special operator. It is special operator. It returns size in bytes. It returns size in bytes. Size in bytes. For example, then write down this. सपोज आपको इंटीजर की साइज चाहिए तो हम इंट डेटा टाइप एज अ पैरामीटर साइज आपको पास करेंगे, देन वी विल गेट साइज इन बाइट्स। देन हमें फ्लोट की चाहिए साइज, तो हम क्या करेंगे, float data type as a parameter, we will pass to the size of, then we will get 4 bytes. Okay, and we can pass the variables also, no problem. If you declare one variable of type integer, then that variable you can directly pass to the size of, then it will return how many bytes require for that variable in a memory, that also written by size of. The next function is actually dynamic memory allocation function. It's very important, that is malloc memory allocation. Malloc. Is it done? Hello, is it done?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then see student, what is malloc? Actually, if you want to use what is standard programming, I'm telling you, if you want to use any function of dynamic memory allocation, any function, if you want to use malloc, if you want to use calloc, if you want to use realloc, or if you want to use free function in your application, then what you have to do first, we have to include alloc.h, that file, that header file in your application. Means you are writing actually C application, then all of you are including stdio.h header file in your application. You are including conio.h header file in your application, because all the functions we are using in your application, all the functions are already defined in that header files. So we are including that header files in an application first, and then we are using them. Similarly, if you want to use any function, whether it is malloc, whether it is a calloc, whether it is a realloc, or whether it is a free, then first what we have to do, we have to include alloc.h header file in an application. पहले हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा, ये जो हेडर फाइल है ना alloc.h, उसको हमारे एप्लीकेशन में ऐड करना पड़ेगा, इंक्लूड करना पड़ेगा, देन हम बाकी के फंक्शन को यूज कर सकते हैं. That is standard programming. But now a lot of operating systems are introduced. 32 bits operating system we are using, 64-bit operating system you are using. There are different types of Windows operating system. So anything is happening in programming. कुछ भी करो कुछ भी हो जाता है. तो क्या करना है हमें, for maintaining standard in a programming or in a software, what we have to do, we have to first include alloc.h header file in an application. पहले उसको include करो, and then हम malloc, calloc, realloc और free function को हमारे application में use कर सकते हैं. Okay, actually we are adding 2 header files. हम तो दोनों को तो ऐड कर ही रहे हैं. कौन कौन सी है, stdio.h and conio.h. तो सपोज हम malloc फंक्शन का या डायनामिक मेमोरी एलोकेशन का प्रोग्राम लिख रहे हैं, तो हम तीसरी भी ऐड करेंगे और उसका नाम क्या है, alloc.h. एंड सपोज इफ यू आर नॉट एडिंग दैट फाइल इन एन एप्लीकेशन, कोई एरर नहीं आएगी, कुछ भी नहीं होगा. ओके, वो तो वर्क हो ही जाता है. बट व्हाट यू शुड नो कि malloc फंक्शन कौन से हेडर फाइल में से आता है. Like suppose printf function, किसी ने, if anybody asks you what is printf, what is a prototype of printf, then you should know printf function belongs to stdio.h header file. आपको मालूम होना चाहिए कि बाबा printf function stdio.h header file का है. If anybody asks you clear screen function, clr scr, then you should know clr scr and getch, both the functions are belongs to header file conio.h. ओके, आपको मालूम होना चाहिए कि बाबा कौन सा फंक्शन कौन से फाइल में से एक्चुअली आता है. getch and conio.h, getch and clear screen, both the functions are belongs to conio.h header file, and malloc, calloc, realloc, free, all that functions are belongs to header file alloc.h, and printf, scanf, these are the functions belongs to header file stdio.h. You should know all that part. Okay. Then see, now I am discussing malloc function with you. Malloc, see what is malloc. See what is the use of malloc. I am telling the statements to you. All of you have to listen that statements carefully, and whatever doubt in your mind, you can ask afterwards. Malloc. It is used to allocate. It is used to allocate memory to the variable. It is used to allocate continuous memory. Continuous memory, that is bytes of memory, to the variable at runtime. Malloc is a function used to allocate continuous, that is bytes of memory, to the variable, to the pointer variable at runtime. Runtime में pointer variable के लिए कंटिन्यूस मेमोरी या बाइट्स ऑफ मेमोरी अलोकेट करने के लिए malloc फंक्शन का यूज हो जाता है. It allocates continuous memory. Continuous and bytes of memory both are the important statements in the definition of malloc. Malloc, it is used to allocate memory to the variable at runtime. Then how it allocates memory to the variable? Continuous, that is bytes of memory. Okay, at runtime, and runtime is important. Then see next one. After memory allocation, what malloc is doing? After the memory allocation, malloc function returns base address of allocated memory space. Okay, after memory allocation, malloc function returns base address of allocated memory space. Now question is, what is base address? Now I am showing you what is the base address. And yes, it will open very small. Then say student, suppose this is the memory space we are allocating by using malloc function. Okay, then suppose I want to allocate 10 bytes memory. Okay, suppose this is 10 bytes memory space. Okay, this is 10 bytes memory space, but how many integers we want to store in that memory space? Suppose 5 integers. Okay, how many integers? 5 integers, and total memory space is 10, and each integer require 2 bytes memory. हर एक इंटीजर के लिए कितनी बाइट्स मेमोरी चाहिए? इंटीजर फॉर इंटीजर 2 bytes memory is needed. Okay, and what is total memory space? 10 bytes. So 10 divided by 2, it becomes 5. So in memory, small 5 blocks will be created. Total space is 10 bytes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total space is 10 bytes. But I want to store 5 integers in this, and each integer require 2 bytes memory. So 5 block will be created, and total space is of 10 bytes. Okay, वो total space कितना है? 10 bytes का. हर एक इंटीजर के लिए कितनी bytes memory? 2 bytes. और हमारे पास इंटीजर कितने? 5. तो 5 blocks create हो गए. Okay. Then see student, what is base address? See what is the base address? This is base address. Base address is nothing but address of first block. Address of first memory block. This is 10 bytes memory block, और इसमें जो first block है, that is nothing but base address of that memory space. उसको ही क्या बोला जाता है? Base address. Is it clear? Hello? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then see. Okay, then see what is a malloc. Malloc is a function used to allocate continuous, that is bytes of memory, to the pointer variable at runtime, and after memory allocation, it returns base address of allocated memory space. This is memory allocation. Then it returns base address of allocated memory space. Means this one. एक बार हमें उस जहां से मेमोरी अलोकेट हुई है उस मेमोरी का स्टार्टिंग का एड्रेस मिल जाता है, तो ऑटोमेटिकली रिमेनिंग ब्लॉक के भी हमें एड्रेस मिल जाते हैं. यही malloc का मेन बेनिफिट है. ओके, what is the use of malloc? It is used to allocate continuous, that is bytes of memory, to the pointer variable at runtime. And second use is after it returns base address of allocated memory space, and base address is nothing but address of first block. Address of first block, that you people has to remember. Any problem? Hello? Any problem in this?
Can you repeat second point?
Okay. malloc function, after what malloc function is doing, malloc function returns base address of allocated memory space. See, this is the memory space we are allocating by using malloc function. Okay, 10 bytes we are allocating, and how many integers we want to store in this? Suppose 5 integers, and as we know, integer require 2 bytes memory, right? So 5 blocks will be created like this. Means total 10 byte space gets divided into the 5 blocks. 5 because each integer require 2 bytes memory, and we have to store 5 integers. So that is for one integer, this is for another integer, then third, then fourth, and then fifth, like this. And after memory allocation, what malloc is doing, it returns the address of first block, and address of first block is nothing but base address. Okay, address of first block is nothing but base address of that memory space, of that allocated memory space. Is it clear? वो जो बेस एड्रेस रहता है ना, वो जो मेमोरी अलोकेट की जाती है ना, वो जो उस मेमोरी का वो फर्स्ट ब्लॉक का एड्रेस रहता है, उसको ही बोला जाता है बेस एड्रेस. एक्चुअली आई थिंक वी हैड लर्न दैट इन सी लैंग्वेज. जो आपने सी लैंग्वेज सीखी है उसमें आपने वो देखा होगा कि बेस एड्रेस एक्चुअली रहता क्या है. ओके, इज इट क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then both the points you people has to write down both the points. दोनों का यूज लिखो. Shall I start? Is it done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, I'm proceeding.
मी साफ करतो.
See, what is the syntax of malloc function? Pointer variable equal to, this is typecasting. What is it? That also I will explain. Then name of function, that is malloc, and how much bytes you want to allocate to the pointer variable, that we have to mention here, that is size. Okay, if you want to allocate 10 bytes memory space to the pointer variable, then the value of size must be 10. If you want to allocate 20 bytes memory space, then that value we have to pass to the malloc function. That is the requirement. Okay, जो size आपको जो memory space आपको allocate करनी है, that value we have to pass as a parameter to the malloc function, right? Then see, after the syntax, here I have given one example. Listen, if you are not getting, then tell me. One pointer variable p I have declared here. Along with that, 2 integer variables also I have declared. या आई की जरूरत नहीं है अभी ये की. Then program में हम I variable भी यूज करेंगे. Then one n variable I have declared here, n. Then see what is n. N means number of integers. n means number of integers, means how many numbers you want to store in a memory. कितने numbers, कितने integers आपको मेमोरी में स्टोर करना है, that is nothing but the value of n, वही n की वैल्यू है. Okay, then see what is p. P is pointer variable, then malloc, and then here I have written n into size of int. Then see what is it. Okay, then suppose here the value of n is sorry, value of n is 5. Consider the value of n is 5. That means I want to store 5 integers in a memory. How many integers I want to store? 5. Okay, then each integer require 2 bytes memory, because is it done? After writing, tell me. I am waiting. Done?
No, sir.
Okay, okay.
Done, sir.
Okay. Then see, first I'm executing this application. Then you will get idea of the messages. Okay. Compilation. It's compiled. Then execution. Then first it is asking us how many, means how many integers you want to store into the memory, and that system has asked us after the execution of that application. That means this process is dynamic. This process is dynamic. So how many? It completely depends on you. It completely depends on user. Suppose user wants to store 5 integers, then user can enter 5. Okay, then 5. Then after pressing enter, it will accept 5 integers. So enter number 1, I have written there in printf. Printf enter number I plus 1. What is 1? What is that 1? That 1 is nothing but the value of I. Okay, enter number 1. Suppose my number is 10. Then enter number 2. Suppose my number is 11. Then enter number 3. My number is 12. Enter number 4. My number is 14. Then number 5. Suppose 15. How many numbers I am entering? 5. Okay. Then after that, what I have display entered numbers are 10, 11, 12, 13. Sorry, 13 बज गया. Okay. 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. It's okay. 10, 11, 12, 14, 15. Is it clear? Any problem in input and output? Then I will explain the program. मैं program explain करूँगा. इसमें क्या doubt?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Now see. See student, here I have declared the required variables. Then first statement is how many. That means how many integers we want to store in a memory. That value I am taking in variable n. Then in this example I have entered 5. That means value for n I have entered 5. Then here I have written the syntax of malloc. Malloc value of n is 5. Then each integer require 2 bytes memory. So 5 into 2 it becomes 10. So 10 bytes memory space will be allocated into the memory. But how many integers we want to store? We want to store 5 integers. So in 10 bytes, so 10 divided by 5 it becomes 2. So 5 blocks will be created into the memory. So 5 blocks create हो गए. That means by using malloc function we have allocated memory space to the pointer variable p. After memory allocation, that pointer variable p becomes array. It looks like array, it is like array. So here, and as we know, in an array, index of first block will be 0. Array में जो index रहती है first block की, वो क्या रहती है? 0. So I have started our for loop from 0 to size minus 1. To size minus 1. If the value of I is 0, then I am displaying message entered number. Then here I have written I plus 1. Value of I is 0. So 0 plus 1 it becomes 1. So message will be displayed like entered number 1. So one number we have to enter, and where that number I am storing in an array p. At which location? At 0th location. That means first entered number will get stored at ith location, that is at 0th location इन एरे पी, तो पी एरे में 0th लोकेशन में हमारा पहला नंबर स्टोर हो जाएगा. नेक्स्ट टाइम वैल्यू ऑफ आई बिकम्स 1, then again this condition will be checked. This condition is true, then again this message will be displayed, enter number. Now the value of I is 1. Here I have written 1 plus 1, then it becomes 2. So message will be displayed like this, enter number 2. Then scan a % p of I, then ith location में second number store होगा. Then this for loop will be executed n times, that is 5 times. So our program will accept 5 numbers and all that numbers will get stored in array p. p array में सभी नंबर को स्टोर किया जाएगा. Then after that, जैसे हमने array में डेटा स्टोर किया है वैसे ही हम रिट्राइव करते हैं, वैसे ही हम रीड करते हैं. So यहाँ लिखा है I equal to 0 because first number we will get at 0th location, then I less than size minus 1, then this for loop, again this for loop will be executed n times, that is 5 times, and 5 numbers will be displayed on the screen. Any problem? इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम सपोज किसी को है, then you can ask. हेलो, anyone? क्या समझ में आता है या नहीं आता है? एरे देखो, आपको क्या याद रखना है कि पॉइंटर वेरिएबल को मेमोरी एलोकेट की ना वो एरे बन जाता है और एरे में ऐसे डेटा स्टोर किया जाता है. आपको ये डिफिकल्ट लग रहा है तो आप इसको निकाल सकते हो. ये क्या है, ऐसे फॉर्मेटिंग के लिए रखा है, निकाल दिया. देन एरे में हम डेटा ऐसे स्टोर करेंगे, एरे में से डेटा हम ऐसे रिट्राइव करेंगे. ये तो आपको मालूम है, ये तो आपने लास्ट सेम में देखा है, लास्ट ईयर में देखा है. एनी प्रॉब्लम?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
ओके, वेरी गुड. ये जो किया हमने, दैट इज नथिंग बट इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ऑफ मैलॉक फंक्शन. ओके, actually we are discussing malloc. It is used to allocate continuous memory space, and that is bytes of memory space, and after memory allocation it returns address of first block, that is nothing but base address. base address को ही बोला जाता है first block का address. वही तो explain किया है. And same syntax I have used in my application. Okay, all of you have to use same syntax. Okay, the value of in, it can be varies, it can be different, it completely depends on user. If user wants to store 5 numbers, then the value of n user can enter 4, 5, 6. It completely depends on user. वो हमारे हाथ में नहीं रहता है. I am also user, so I can enter any number. Okay, so student, what you have to do, all of you have to enter your roll number in chat box. Okay, and after entering the numbers in chat box you can leave the meeting. ठीक है, आपकी अटेंडेंस आपको लगानी है चैट बॉक्स में.